The stranger at the forks of the road. And every stranger at the forks of the road. In every man's lifetime, there comes a time when he comes to the forks of the road. And there he has to make a decision on which road he will travel. This is a time when I came, stranger at the forks of the road. In every man's lifetime, there comes a time when he comes to the forks of the road. And there he has to make a decision on which road he will travel. This is the time when I came to the forks of the road and the decision that I made. Yes, when I reached the forks of the road, I found myself at the foot of a mountain. I could see a road to the right. It looked like it was leading up to the top of the mountain. And then I could see a road to the left, which looked like it was going downward. Now, my father and mother, my sisters, their husbands, my friends, they were all taking the road to the right. I just stood there. They couldn't understand it. They kept preaching and praying to me to come follow them because they were going back to God. My mother used to say to me, "Son, there's only two ways to go, up or down. Now you can see this right-hand road goes to heaven, and that left-hand road goes to hell. Now, you really don't have no choice, because if you don't take this right-hand road, when this life's over, you're going to be swept down that road to the left, whether you like it or not. And that's hell. So, son, before it's too late, make your mother happy and come go with her. We'll go back to God together." But I refused to go. Nobody could understand why. But things didn't seem right to me. You know, I compared this left-hand road to the right-hand road, and I couldn't see no difference. One road was as wide as the other. I remembered a statement Jesus made. "It's a narrow road, and few there will be that will find it." Now, that can't be this road to the right. Too many people going there. Why, everybody I know ever heard tell us got some kind of religion. So they're all going to the right. Left-hand road is crowded too. They say that goes to hell. People traveling that don't care. But where's the right-hand road? Where's that narrow road that just a few people will find? There must be a third road. But how do you find it? I looked around. I didn't see it. But there has to be one. There's a third road. I know there's a third road. But I don't know anybody that's ever found it. So how am I going to find it? I was determined. I wasn't going to give up. I know there's a third road, and I'm going to find it. So how do you find something that you can't see? I know. I'll ask God. Everybody says there's a God. I'll pray to him. So I got out on my knees right there in the middle of the forks of the road, and I started praying. God, I believe there's a third road, and I want to find it. I need your help. If you don't show it to me, and I don't find it, I'm not going to travel these roads. This is as far as I go. You know, a funny feeling came over me. I knew right then my prayers was going to be answered. I got up off my knees. I wiped the tears from my eyes. And there sitting out there ahead of me on a rock was a little man. I hadn't seen this man before. He wasn't there when I came up here. Where did he come from? As I looked towards him, he smiled. I said to myself, do I know this guy? Does he know me? I think I'll go over and ask him about that third road. Maybe he knows where it is. So as I walked over to him, he started smiling. He put out his hand and he said, hello, Clarence. Man, was I shocked. Sir, how'd you know my name? He smiled and he said, Clarence, I've always known you. Always. What's this guy putting me on? Have we ever met before? He said, not in this lifetime. This lifetime. He did look familiar. He said, you saw me before. You've seen me lots of times. You passed me along the road you just traveled. I'm that little man you kept seeing in a doorway. Hey, that's right. There was someone kept looking at me as I came up the road. Sir, who are you? He said, my name is Paul Twitchell. I'm an agent from God. Hey, you know, I was just praying back there for God to show me that narrow road. Do you know anything about a third road? He smiled and said, yes, Clarence. That's why I'm here. I came to show you that narrow road. Say, man, I got excited. Sir, where's it at? Show it to me. Just a minute. There's a few things I gotta tell you. I wasn't wanting to hear anything. I want to find that third road. Clarence, before I show you that road, there's a few things you must know. It's not an easy road to travel. It's a steep road. It's a hard climb all the way. Your friends will turn against you, even your own family. You'll be an outcast. I smiled. I said, sir, not my family. My family loves me. Why, they've been concerned about me all their lives. They're always after me to go back to God. Yes, I know. They love you now, but their feelings will be changed once you start that narrow path. I thought about it for a moment. Well, I prayed to God to show it to me. And I'm not backing out now. And he says, and one more thing. There's no turning back. Once you step on it, you'll have to go all the way. I thought about it again. My mind's made up, sir. I asked to know where it is. I still want to know where it is. And I'm ready to go. He smiled, got up from the rock, walked over to some bushes. It was between the rows. I hadn't even seen them. If I hadn't noticed them. He parts back the bushes, and there was a little path that led straight up the mountain. Gee, I looked up that path. I said, boy, well, they wasn't kidding when they said this is a narrow road and a steep one. But I'm ready. He pointed away, and I started climbing. It was a little steep there at first, but I finally made it up on the second ledge. I got up, looked around. My guide was gone. I looked back down there and I saw my body. Hey, I know I just died. I must be in heaven. Where is this man? So I called out, hey, Paul. Paul, where are you? And there came around a rose bush, or a rose garden, came this man, and he had a long blue robe on, and his head shined like a blue star. He reached out his hand to me. I said, sir, I know who you are. You're the Son of God. And he smiled. I said, sir, what just took place? Did I die? Am I in heaven? No, you didn't die. But you're in heaven. You see, this is what Jesus was talking about when he said the only way you could get to heaven, you had to be born again by the Spirit and not by the flesh. And you just did that. That simple? Well, he said, we got a long ways to go. I felt much lighter. So I said, sir, I'm ready, let's go. So we started climbing. We went through different worlds, different planes. I met people who had lived in this lifetime and gone on. I saw many sights. The scenery was fantastic. I could go on forever telling the things I saw. But as we traveled onward, I began to understand more and more. And finally we went through the fourth world, and we came up on what he called a dividing line that separated the higher worlds from the lower worlds. There he said, Clarence, we'll sit down now and take a rest. And you can see how far we've came. So we sit down. I look back down the road we had traveled, all the way back to the forks of the road. It seemed like a long time. He said, been 2 years. I could see the right-hand road. I could see how far it went. And I was surprised to know that it only went to the fourth world. And there everyone served the Lord of that plane. I turned to the master and I said, sir, what'd you say that God was there we just passed through? What was his name? That's Cal Neridium. Cal Neridium? Who's he? I never heard of him. How come he's not in the Bible? He smiled. He said, he is in the Bible. You see, Clarence, he has many names. He's known as Lucifer, Satan. He represents the negative forces. Man, was I surprised. Sir, you mean to tell me that all those fine Christian people are worshiping Satan and don't know it? He smiled. He said, Clarence, what does it say in your Bible? Satan has confused the whole world. Boy, you're not kidding. Have we been stupid? My. You know, sir, you was right about one thing. My family did turn against me. I'm a stranger in my own home. My sisters claim that God told them not to talk to their brother. But I know now who that God was. The master said, Clarence, it's Satan's job to keep you there. Keep everybody there. And when someone finds that secret door, he doesn't want nobody to follow. So he puts his forces to work to steer him away from you. Boy, he sure did a good job. My family thinks I'm some kind of a kook. Well, where do we go from here? The next plane, Clarence, is the 5th plane. You're going to get a surprise there. Well, let's go. I'm ready. He said, all right. We got up. We walked on up to the 5th plane. Now, when I went through the next door, I found this place much brighter than any place I'd been. The light, it was like walking out of the dark into the daylight. Now I could see good. I looked around and my God was gone. But I was so fascinated in what I saw that I was feasting my eyes. As I looked around, I thought, gee, this looks like New York City. Yeah, very familiar. Hey, wait a minute. This used to be my home. Yeah. Why, I used to live here. I was kicked out for something. I wonder where I lived at. At the next moment, the city disappeared. And I found myself walking down a street, a neighborhood, all beautiful homes, different pastel colors. And I came to this little bungalow, a blue one. I walked up to it. As I came to the door, it swung open. There stood the most beautiful brunette I ever seen. She reached her hand out, said, "Hello, come on in." Man, I almost stumbled getting in the door. She held onto my hand, started leading me towards the back room. I'm thinking to myself, where are we going? What's going to happen? But I didn't care. We reached the back part of the house, and she called out, "Hey, guess who's here?" And in a few minutes, out from another room came the most beautiful, blonde-headed girl I ever seen in my life. Man, I couldn't take my eyes off of her. She ran and grabbed me, threw her arms around me, hugged me, kissed me, and said, "Oh, darling, it's been so long." Boy, I didn't know what was happening for a second. If this was a dream, I didn't ever want to wake up. The other girl said, "I'm going to leave you lovebirds alone." She left. So this beautiful creature made love to me. This was the most beautiful experience that I had ever had in all my life. I couldn't believe it. I sure didn't want to ever leave this place. If this was my home, I wanted to stay here. But then she told me I'd have to go back. But it wouldn't be long. I'd soon be coming home now. Then I felt myself pull away. The more I struggled to stay, the easier I slipped away. Next moment, I found myself in this city again, walking towards a building like some unseen force was steering me, that I had no choice but to follow the direction I was going in. I went in this building, got on an elevator, rode to the 10th floor, got off, walked across the hall to a desk there, and there was another beautiful girl. She said, "Hello, come on in, have a seat. The master will be in soon." I walked in his office. It looked like some big rich attorney's office. I sat down in this beautiful, brown, soft, comfortable chair. And then the next moment, the master walked in. None other than Paul Twitchell. He walked behind the desk and sat down, leaned back in his chair, put his hands behind his head, said, "Well, Clarence, I can see you had a beautiful experience. Sir, do I have to go back to my physical body?" He smiled and he said, "Yes, Clarence. But it won't be long now. You'll soon be coming home. When the time comes, I'll come for you. When you see me coming, you'll know it's time to go." Next moment, I felt myself sliding back into the physical body, and I dreaded to go. But on the way down, I called back, "When will I die?" And a voice spoke loud and clear, April the 15th. You'll have a stroke on the 1st of April and die on the 15th. This has to be is to pay your last debt. I called back, what year? No answer. What year? 3 times I called, no answer. The next moment, I was back in my physical body. It's been 3 years now, and I'm still waiting. Each time April goes around, nothing happens. I know I have another year to wait, but I keep waiting. I know someday he'll come back for me. He promised. You know, he really has never left me. For in my heart, he will always live. I want to thank you for listening to my story.